And our final question comes to us from Tiana's Place. Tiana's Place says, "Do you think that Mickey's Not So Scary's Mickey's Not So Scary singular Halloween party at Magic Kingdom or the Oogie Boogie Bash at California Adventure will go on as planned this year due to the pandemic?" Excellent question. Because so much, obviously, at Walt Disney World, as it comes back online July the 11th, so much has been canceled, right? So much has been already pulled in terms of future planning for people and their trips. Disney has done that as a way in which to set up the future of Disney World in this sort of temporary lifestyle that they're living in terms of dealing with the pandemic and trying to keep everybody healthy and safe. As of right now, it appears that anybody that has purchased tickets for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, those are still on. Nothing's happened in terms of refunds. Nothing has happened in terms of announcements for that to occur. On the other side of the country, though, for the Oogie Boogie Bash and Disneyland, as far as I know, those tickets have not gone on sale. Typically, those go on sale in April. Disneyland was closed during that time and everything was shuttered. And so an announcement still has not been made. So, my question on this question, in addition to what they're asking, is does anyone think that we might see Halloween parties on one coast and maybe no Halloween parties on the other? Katrina, what say you?
I'm sad. I don't want that to happen. But I feel like the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, that I don't think. I mean, they could still sell like tickets and stuff, but I wouldn't want to go because the whole point of going is I love their fireworks. I live for those Halloween fireworks, and then the parade. And so when you take those away, you're just dressing up in a super hot costume in August and wearing a mask on top of that, and then going trick or treating. And who knows if you're still going to be able to go trick or treating and get candy because of the close proximity you have to be in to get that candy. And then for California, everything's a lot tighter there. And I mean, I really wanted to see that really cool path, path again over in like the Redwood Trail. That was like the coolest thing ever. But they're not going to have it because it's just too many people, and it's no parade, no fireworks. I mean, I could care less about that. What is it called? The World of Color Villainous show. That was just really, really bad.
That was not a good show.
It was horrible. I don't know how many times I rolled and laughed throughout that whole thing. But it's just like close proximities, and I don't think they're going to handle it because they haven't even opened up Disneyland Park yet. So I can't imagine them trying to sell extra tickets for the Halloween party. And then for Disney World, I just can't see them having this parade or having this extra ticketed event when you can't really get the bang for your buck for it.
I mean, they are, already, I suppose, limited in capacity. That's the whole idea, right? For these special ticketed events, it's already capped. So at least they have that going for it. Tyler, do you think that there's going to be any alterations with Mickey's Not So Scary? Because at least we know as of right now it's still happening. And then on the West Coast, you think we're out of luck?
Yeah, I mean, well, to answer the first question, I think there will be some alterations, but we're gonna have to wait and see if they even want to do fireworks at that point, and they very well might not. So you're right in saying that if they don't do the parades, if they don't do the fireworks,
oh my god, the Sanderson Sisters show,
things like that. If they don't do those special events, then what's the point of buying a ticket to this thing? So. And, passing out candy, is that really going to happen? Or are they just going to wear gloves while they're passing out candy? Or what's going to be the deal with that? So there will probably be some alterations if they continue to do it, which honestly, I think they will. I really do think they're going to have a Halloween party. They need that money, and it gets a lot of people to come in. So that sounds like that's happening. And then for the second question, are they going to do it on this coast? I think they will, honestly. And there will be alterations, like I was saying. But I mean, I know that Universal Studios is planning to do Halloween Horror Nights. I know that Knott's is planning to do Knott's Scary Farm. So if these two places are planning their Halloween events, I have no reason I have no reason to think that Disney wouldn't also be planning their event. And just because they haven't put the tickets out yet, I don't think that means it's a no-go necessarily. So we'll have to wait and see. I know. I feel like I end like everything. We'll have to wait and see, but that's just kind of where we're at. Like nobody really has the answers to these things.
You're absolutely right. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's speculating on this, and that's we get asked these questions. I think because people are just looking for perspective on the matter, trying to understand what could happen, maybe things that they don't understand or they haven't been a part of in terms of prior parties and experiences. So they're trying to get a handle on it. You know, should I plan? Should I not? I think they're just looking for some sort of guidance from us, which is why we get those questions to begin with. So yeah, we want to make sure that it's clear. I mean, obviously, we don't know for sure, right? The only thing that we do know for sure is that tickets have been sold. I have 2 of them in particular for an August date at Walt Disney World. As far as I know, it's happening. Okay, Mickey's Not So Scary. It's occurring in Walt Disney World. And as far as Disneyland goes, ooh, I wonder. Garrett, being our Walt Disney World guy, you think that you're going to see some big alterations out there in terms of entertainment being reduced? You think that the passing out of candy, which I think is one of the things that every child looks forward to the most at Magic Kingdom, think that's going to be nixed or modified in some way?
Well, there are some good questions. I definitely think it's going to be modified in a major way. Even though, like when you come to a Not So Scary party, you think of the fireworks, you think of the show, but don't forget, a majority of this thing are these special meet and greets that you can never meet, like a meet and greet with Captain Jack Sparrow, or meeting Jack and Sally, the Seven Dwarves, or Tarzan and Jane. You get these once in a lifetime, really unique experiences. And if they aren't even going to have characters come July that you can hug and interact with, it's going to be really tough. So a lot of progress will have to be made by the time August hits. And that's less than 1 full month, really, or around 1 full month to really get everything going. So I think if they can move things along and the status of this country improves, then it can still happen. I just worry about the fireworks and the parade. As for the candy, I think if they do gloves, they can make the candy happen, because Disney's very clean with a lot of what they do. Like I constantly see people wiping things down. So they could do that, or they could put the candy in special Ziploc bags that then they hand so that there's not a whole lot of touching candy and such. But it's going to be interesting. Like as we've been talking, I've just been thinking how perhaps they might have to cancel some early dates of it and just do sort of like a Halloween overlay where they do projections on the castle and play the music, and that's about it. But as for Disneyland, first, the park needs to be open. Then I can answer that question truly. I'm going to go with no, just because it's a lot smaller. And I know it's a lot younger, but it looks cool. I think the Redwood Trail looks really, really cool, how each section's a different villain. But Magic Kingdom has, I would say, a 70% chance of being happening, while Disneyland's more like 30.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, for the you were mentioning the characters at Disney World, and I wonder if they could do something kind of like they did at Oogie Boogie Bash, where like each candy trail you go through, and not be exactly like this, but each candy trail you went through at Oogie Boogie Bash had like a villain representing it, and they had like a microphone, and they would talk to the crowd as they went by and everything. And I actually found that to be really cool, because that way everybody got an experience with the character, rather than, you know, and you didn't have to wait in this big giant line to like go give them a hug or something. Like it wasn't quite as individualized, but I still thought it was a really cool thing they did. And maybe they could do something like that in Orlando.
I think that would be a good medium, Tyler. Like if you can't get that full on interaction, but you still want characters there, if they could at least call out to people, I would love it. Just have Captain Jack Sparrow yell at people and just cat call and do whatever he does best. I'd love that. Or Tarzan would just be more grunting and pounding on his chest. But let's be honest, when people go to see Tarzan, they don't go to talk to him. They go to look at him and
true.
Feel him. I'm gonna end the conversation there.
Oh my.
And you're looking to get catcalled by Captain Jack? Is that what I heard?
Me personally, it would be an honor.
Wow. I think you'd prefer to be catcalled by Gaston more than Captain Jack.
Ooh, yeah, Gaston. He has my heart.
Yeah, I knew
He
it.
has my
See,
heart. Yeah.
and producer Kurt, Halloween parties at Disneyland have become sort of a staple, especially for locals. It's become a really big thing for Southern California to go do. And I know that Walt Disney World, I mean, it's so popular out there that as Katrina has said in prior broadcasts, for God's sakes, they're starting it in the middle of August. She said. So knowing that, do you think, one, that we're going to see modifications of Mickey's Not So Scary in Florida and it's going to happen? And two, do you think Disneyland might say, not this year?
Well, I think modifications are definitely going to have to happen. There's no way they can keep it absolutely the same. It's just too close, especially if they're expecting another outbreak of this sometime in fall. Things could change rapidly by then. So who knows what they're planning now and what goes on then will be the same. Over here for California, though, I think California is just being run so much differently than Florida. The governor here has a different mindset on what's going on that I just don't see it being possible for it to be opening up this soon in terms of that kind of gathering. And if it is open, it's going to be so restricted to what former shell of what it was that it might not even be worth it.
Certainly, I think on to that, if the Disneyland reopening date gets pushed out so far, even until late summer, beginning of fall potentially, based on all the factors, and especially as you had mentioned there, the governor's mindset for California is very different from the governor of Florida, and politics are playing a big part in decision making right now. Knowing that. And knowing that all those decisions are coming down to how things are going to move forward, I can absolutely see a situation where Disneyland, far be it for Disneyland to bounce out on a ton of revenue made, right, from those Halloween parties because they are cash cows. But if Disneyland's already trying to reopen at the end of summer, or trying to reopen so close to these start dates, throwing a party on top of it, trying to manage, even if it is special ticketed and controlled capacity, trying to manage all that in addition to bringing theme parks back online, I think would be quite challenging.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.